There is a corner of the world that is not entirely water, yet cannot be called land either. There, life pulses in forms that are strange and astonishing at once. A muddy boundary where tidal seawater shapes a landscape that is never fixed. There, among dangling mangrove roots and rapidly scurrying crabs, emerges a small creature with protruding eyes and fins resembling tiny legs. They are mudskippers or timbakal, inhabitants of a world between two realms with bodies that defy the logic of fish. In the animal kingdom, the body is a story of compromise with nature. A whale, for instance, traded its legs for fins to traverse the vast oceans. Likewise, birds sculpted their bones to be light enough to fly and explore the high skies. But mudskippers chose a different path. They remain fish, yet with bodies that slowly learn the secrets of life on land. Mudskippers have relatively small body forms, generally only measuring several centimeters in length, although some species can reach more than 20 centimeters. Nevertheless, behind that small body lies an extraordinary arrangement of muscles and organs. The first miracle of the mudskipper lies in its pectoral fins. While other fish use their fins to swim, mudskippers use them like hands that support their bodies. These fins are thick, muscular, and flexible, equipped with joints capable of bearing the body's weight outside the water. When walking, these fins press against the mud like small palms, pushing the body forward in rhythmic movements. When running or jumping, the fins become a remarkable source of power. They propel their bodies several times the length of their own size. Up close, their movements appear awkward, like a small child just learning to crawl. Yet in the muddy world, no other animal can move as impressively as they do. Mudskippers can even climb mangrove roots, slide across the surface of the water, and even scale damp tree trunks with unexpected agility. That means they are officially fish, but their behavior has already gone beyond, even defying the laws of fish. The next peculiarity of the mudskipper lies in its eyes. Both of the mudskipper's eyeballs appear to protrude like small domes on top of its head, which gives them nearly 360-degree vision. They can see forward, to the sides, and even backward without having to turn their bodies. When on land, the eyes protrude high to reach the horizon while watching for predators and rivals. But when returning to the water, the eyes can be pulled back into the head cavity, protecting them from mud or stinging salt. The most fascinating part of those eyes is the way they maintain moisture. Because they live in the air, mudskipper eyes dry out easily, even though fish do not have eyelids like humans. Nevertheless, they have developed a special method. They seem to be able to blink by pulling their eyeballs into their sockets and then moistening them with water or internal mucus. Each time they do this, it looks like a quick blink, a small movement that makes them seem as if they are thinking or reflecting. Sometimes during the day, timbakal will remain still on the surface of the mud, only rotating their eyes in every direction. It appears like a small guard in a watchtower, alert to predatory birds in the sky or enemies from their own species. And in the silence of the mangrove, it is those eyes that become the window of life in their dual world. However, among all the extraordinary abilities possessed by mudskippers, none is more astonishing than their ability to breathe in air. This is where their true mystery and wonder lie, a biological art so delicate that it appears like a small miracle in science. While other fish depend entirely on water for life, mudskippers reject that boundary. They learn to inhale oxygen directly from the air without losing their identity as fish. They are not entirely land creatures, yet no longer merely water fish. They live in the gray space between two worlds, and it is precisely there that they find perfect balance. Fish in general breathe with gills. Water enters through the mouth, passes over the gills, then exits through the gill cover or operculum. There, oxygen is absorbed from the water and carbon dioxide is released. But this system does not function in air, because once fish leave the water, their gills collapse and lose moisture so they can no longer exchange oxygen. However, this is not the case with mudskippers. They have an intelligent way to maintain that moisture. Within their gill chambers, they retain a small amount of water that continues to keep the gill surfaces moist. Even when they are walking on land, that water is not merely leftover puddle residue, but rather a kind of personal oxygen tank that they carry wherever they go. Thus, when mudskippers tightly close their operculum, The water inside remains well stored, and each time they open their mouths, fresh air enters and flows over the water inside that cavity, allowing oxygen to dissolve and be absorbed by the gills. In this way, they create a dual respiratory system, a harmony between water and air. What truly makes mudskippers defy the logic of fish is their ability to breathe through their skin. Their skin is not only protection, but also a vital organ. Its surface, slick with mucus and always moist, allows direct oxygen exchange with the air. However, this comes with a condition. The skin must not dry out. Once dry, they begin to suffocate. That is why they often roll in the mud or return to puddles to moisten their bodies. And thus we understand that every mud bathing movement performed by Timbuktu is not playful behavior, but a ritual of survival. The mud that clings to their bodies helps maintain moisture like a natural moisturizer that extends their breathing time on land. Without it, their skin would dry out, oxygen circulation would be disrupted, and breathing would become erratic. The ability to breathe in two realms demands great energy. Oxygen from the air is far more abundant, but the body of a fish is not designed to distribute it like mammals do. Therefore, mudskippers must adjust their lifestyle. They move quickly but in short bursts. They bask on land, but immediately return to the water if their skin begins to dry. When the day is scorching, mudskippers are often seen lined up across the mud, opening their mouths wide to accelerate air exchange. The sight resembles a small parade of ancient creatures inhaling the world in their own way. Then after breathing enough, they slide into muddy puddles, roll briefly, and climb back to the surface. When the sun rises high above the mangrove forest and the seawater slowly recedes, the world of the mudskipper transforms into an open stage. The wet mud that glistens under the daylight is no longer merely a floor where they walk. It now turns into an arena of life, a place where small dramas unfold every day, from love, war, to power. All of it happens upon the same stretch of mud. Here is where the male mudskippers become the main actors. Each male owns a patch in the mud, sometimes only as wide as a human palm. But for them, it is a kingdom that must be defended until their very last breath. Within that territory lies a burrow where they rest, where they regulate air, and where they hope to attract the attention of a female. The reason mudskippers so fiercely defend their territory is simple: burrows and oxygen. In the tidal world, for mudskippers, a burrow is not merely a place to shelter, but also a space to breathe and a place to raise their young. A burrow is a symbol of life. Thus, every male considers his territory sacred, a place where he can live, breathe, and create a new generation. Each male mudskipper has his own burrow, not merely a residence, but also a palace of mating. The burrow is dug using fins and mouth, forming a long, winding tunnel, and sometimes as deep as half a meter. At the end, they create a small air chamber, a tiny dome that will become the place where the female lays her eggs. For days, the male works alone. The mound becomes a kind of flag of love that tells the world that this burrow is ready to welcome its mate. The mating season is the noisiest time in the world of mudskippers. As the water begins to recede more frequently and the temperature of the mud starts to warm, the males begin to beautify their territories. They clean their burrows, build small mounds of wet mud, and display the bright colors on their dorsal fins. Every movement becomes part of a captivating dance to attract the attention of a female. The burrow where they hide is not merely a hole, but a highly complex biological structure. The air inside is extremely limited, so the male must create space with oxygen bubbles that he brings from the surface. Each time the mudskipper goes in and out, he exhales air through his mouth, filling the small dome at the end of the tunnel. In this way, the mudskipper creates a breathing space for the female and their future offspring. Once the female enters the burrow, the outside world seems to stop. There beneath the layer of mud, they perform the mating ritual. Calm, brief, yet full of meaning. After the female lays her eggs on the wall of the air dome, she will leave, leaving the male alone. And from that moment, the noise of the outside world pauses for a while and is replaced by the silence of responsibility. After the female leaves, the male seals the burrow with moist mud. He maintains the temperature, regulates the air, and ensures that oxygen bubbles remain inside the dome. The tiny eggs cling to the wall, depending on the air he has brought from the surface. Sometimes, every few hours, the male will briefly come out, inhale fresh air, then return into the burrow to refill the air chamber with new bubbles. Mudskipper eggs are not large, only tiny specks and almost invisible to the human eye. If humans measure love through words and feelings, then mudskippers show it through perseverance and sacrifice. There are no promises, no romance, but there is responsibility carried out with ancient instinct, digging, guarding, waiting, then letting go. They do not know the fear of loss because their entire life is about loss and birth that continuously repeat along with the coming and going of the tides. Amid the noise of the world, the love of mudskippers unfolds in the silence of mud. And it is precisely in that silence that we can see the true meaning of life. That affection does not always appear gentle. Sometimes it is slimy, dirty, and full of struggle, yet always pure and soothing.